Hi friends, now let's continue with the the lesson sets explanation, where in the last lesson about sets I told you I give an explanation about how you can write a listing method and a rule method. So listing method is basically a simpler method than a rule method, but both are simple. But only thing is, the difference of rule method is you need to be slightly more logical. You need to have a more logical approach towards your problem. So for listing methods, let's take an example of the first 5 natural numbers starting from 1 to 5. If I want to represent 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in a listing method, I would put it this way by saying n is the name of the set, capital N, curly brackets open, and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The same one in the rule method will look like this. N is equal to brackets open x such that x is a natural number. This is n. Okay, a natural number, and I can represent x as 1 less than equal to x less than equal to 5, and I close the brackets. See, the way to read this particular natural number is, if I have kept this x as a variable which can take in the value of 1 to 5. Okay, so when I put x is equal to 1, this is the way you need to think. When x is equal to 1, is it a natural number? Yes, it is a natural number. So I put it here as the first element of the natural number set. The next number I go, if you look at this, this represents that x is in between 1. You will have to start with 1 with x is equal to 1. Okay, so this is what it says. When I say 1 less than equal to x less than equal to 5, what I mean to say, what the rule method means to say, that where you need to substitute this variable x with each number which comes between 1 and 5. So between 1 and 5 being a natural number as the criteria, you need to substitute every time x is equal to 1, then the next number x is equal to 2. Yes, it's a natural number. X is equal to 3, x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 5. So this is what the rule method represents. Another way to write the same one is the same representation is n is equal to curly brackets open x such that x is an element. You remember in our first chapter we had described how you represent element. Yeah, it's an element of capital N, which is a natural number, where x is 1 and it is x is between x is in between 1 to 5, where 1 and 5 are also inclusive. So I think I have gone too much to the corner. Let me write it here. Yeah, n is equal to x such that x is an element of natural number, and with a comma I separate it as 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5. Okay, let me rub this off. Okay, let me rub this entire thing off and write another example. We'll take another example. So let us take an example where we'll talk about whole numbers, which we have read earlier. Whole numbers basically start with whole numbers basically start with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and they can continue till whatever positive number you can think of. So representing this whole number using the rule method, let us keep y as the name of the set, capital Y, open brackets, x, such that x is an element of whole number and x less than equal to 1 less than equal to x less than equal to 4. So we are representing only 4 numbers, whole numbers. So 0 less than equal to 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 4. So that means x will have a value from 0 to 4. So that means 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 5 elements become a set of whole numbers. And let's have another example of this rule method. I'm again rubbing this entire thing off. Try to understand the concept behind it. Now let's talk about let's try to represent 1, 4, 8, 16, okay, 1, 4, 8, 16. So this is like 1 square, this is 2 square, this is okay, here I go wrong where I wanted to represent 9, okay, and then 4 square, and this is 5 square, so this is 25, this is 4 square, and this is the numbers are. So I want to represent, I'll put this neatly again. I want to represent basically 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. Okay, so these are basically squares of the first 5 digits of a natural number starting from 1. So 2 square, so and 3 square and 4 square and finally 5 square. So I'll represent it this way in the rule method, where I'll say I'll take a name of the set as A is equal to brackets open, x such that x is an element of natural number and x is equal to supposing small n square, where I have n going from 1, which I can directly represent it as 1 less than or equal to n and less than or equal to 5 and brackets close. So let's take the first. So first criteria of this is it needs to be a natural number. So the first 5 natural numbers are basically 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what I need to do is I need to create x and substitute where these are my n values. These are my n values. How do I? So how do I get this n value? N value I get it from this range, which shows 1 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 5. This is my n value, and the formula to use is another criteria which I am looking for is x is equal to n square. So what I'll do is I'll take this formula x is equal to n square and substitute n every time. So for 1, when n is equal to 1, I will form an x. When n is equal to 1, x is equal to x is 1 square, which is equal to 1. When n is equal to 2, x is equal to 4. I'll go back here and write because I don't have much space over here. And then when n is equal to 3, my x becomes 3 square, which is 9, and when n is equal to 4, my x becomes 4 square, and when my n is equal to 5, my x becomes 5 square, which is equal to 25. And sorry about this, I need to write it here, 4 square, which is 16. So I have got all the numbers. When n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, my x values change from 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. This is what my actual set is. So this is the listing method, and this is how I'll represent my rule method using the rule method.